Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Glenna Rashipura. In the news tonight, former Air Namibia employees submitted a petition to the Ministry of Justice demanding full payment of severance claims agreed to under oath during their involuntary termination following the liquidation of the company. The group's representative, Rainier Bogart, expressed dissatisfaction with LC Bertram Biekus, the master of the High Court's address, in which she urged patience and proper channels. The employees seek the honoring of the original agreements rather than the reduced amounts paid last year. The petition was received by the Master of High Court and the Deputy Executive Director of the Ministry of Justice, John Shihemaneni.
I'm here to represent my family and my children, and so is each and every one here. You just see maybe these few people here, but there are people in the north. I can't expect them to pay $400 or $500 just to come here for a meeting. If need be, we can bring all 600 together. Because where's that list, Sydney?
Sure.
Here's the list. We are representing these people. They've all signed on to this case. All 555 of them have signed on to this case. That's how important it is. Somebody asked me the question,
Who gave
you the mandate to speak on behalf of people? God gave me the mandate.
Yes. Amen.
God gave me the mandate, and God will deal with you people.
Yes. Amen.
Damn it!
Definitely.
The city of Windhoek celebrated World Environment Day with an exhibition of how plastic waste can be repurposed. According to Wilmot Reeves, UNDP economic advisor, we all have to work together to tackle this issue. Entertainment entity Jura Ina hosted a media launch this evening announcing the opening of Phase 1 ticket on web tickets for the second edition of the Deep in the City event set to take place from the 2nd to the 3rd of September 2023 at the Windhoek Showgrounds.
To commemorate the World Environment Day 2023. As we jointly commemorate the day, I urge all of us, the government, the civil society, the private sector, academia, bilateral and multilateral partners, and all citizens to renew our commitment to conserving and managing our environment and natural resources sustainably. We need to sustain this effort with innovations, especially for climate change adaptation and mitigation. It is equally important to renew our commitment to protecting and restoring these critical ecosystems, as well as promoting sustainable land management news practices. I close by calling on all to reduce plastic pollution and overall pursue adaptation and mitigation measures to address the adverse impacts of climate change to save our ecosystem for the present and future generations. I thank you very much.
Entertainment entity Jura Inn hosted a media launch announcing the opening of Phase 1 ticket on web tickets for the second edition of the Deep in the City event set to take place from the 2nd to the 3rd of September 2023 at the Windhoek Showgrounds.
So for your Pick n Pay receipts, those are usually your tickets. But if it is faded, when the cashier asks for your cell phone number, the system automatically creates a profile for you. We have a customer care line which you can call, and then we can just give you details of your profile, and then you can also edit it. On your profile, you have a history of all the tickets you've ever purchased, so you can always just go into order history and then download the ticket, and then you can present your ticket at the event on your phone, where it will be scanned from.
In our Story of the Day segment, Martin Nkubi, Chief Executive Officer of the Development Bank of Namibia, speaks about the objectives of the forum and how it will help shape Namibia. We get into this story after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Martin Nkubi, Chief Executive Officer of the Development Bank of Namibia and Chair of the 4-day Networking Forum for Development Finance Institutions, speaks about the objectives of the forum and how it will help shape Namibia.
That the 4 Namibian development institutions, that is DBN, Agribank, NHE, and the Environmental Investment Fund, they are all members of the SADC DFI networks, and we therefore participate in this what we call DFI CEO Forum. It's a forum that takes place usually when the DFI network meetings takes place. And this forum we use to share experiences, draw lessons from the experience of other DFIs in other member countries, and through that help build capacity of our own institution. So that is really the purpose. And today's topic was about how do we balance development impact, which is usually the mandate of the DFIs, and also remaining sustainable. It was very, very important, for example, today when the discussion was about profit with a purpose or sustainability with a purpose, basically meaning that it is possible for development finance institutions to be able to deliver development impact. In other words, financing those projects that are impacting the livelihood of people, but still remain financially sustainable. That it's not sustainability versus impact, but it's impact with sustainability. So that is the lesson that we are drawing from today. So on the question in terms of what is the value add to the Namibian DFIs, obviously we are tapping knowledge, we are tapping experience, we are talking about cooperation, working together with regional DFIs to finance projects not only in Namibia but obviously across the SADC region. There is a recognition that we cannot develop in silos. The whole region need to develop and move in tandem. If we are talking about Namibia being a transport and logistics hub, for example, it is going to be very important that we coordinate the development of transport infrastructure, be it railways, be it roads, be it the port expansion here in Walvis Bay. In terms of untapped, there is always opportunities in all sectors. I do believe, for example, that there is immense opportunity still in agriculture in Namibia, for example. We can expand our agricultural production for local consumption and possibly for export. There is opportunities also in value adds, be it in pharmaceutical, even just inputs that we are consuming here in Namibia. If you go into specific products, for example, you can talk about poultry. We're still importing part of the poultry products that we are consuming. There is an opportunity to produce them here. So a lot of opportunities do exist in Namibia that can be exploited. They require proper planning, proper skills, and I think appropriate capital, that especially patient capital that is able to take a very long-term view. We talk about this. Young people find it very difficult to access finance because in the space of finance, whenever you're looking for money, whoever is giving you money want to know how would you be able to pay it back? What if you fail? What's my fallback position? Have you got security? Have you got something?
In our community talk segment after the break, on the 10th of June 2023, Namibia joins the world in creating awareness on Disability Day.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
On the 10th of June 2023, Namibia joins the world in creating awareness of disability. And acquired chats to the spokesperson of Dagbreek School. Let's take a look.
Today I am at the Dagbreek School grounds and I'm here chatting with Ms. Ndunge Yambo. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Now let's get into today's business. I understand that the Disability Day is on the 10th of June. Why is it important for us to raise awareness on disabilities?
You know, I absolutely love that question because it's a question that, even though it sounds so obvious, it's one that's very integral.
Yeah.
Raising awareness on disability of any sort, Dagbreek deals primarily with intellectual and learning disabilities and disorders. But generally, raising awareness is so key in this that you impart a knowledge, an experience of what is unknown to the average person. You allow, again, like I said, a knowledge to knowing that there are people living differently, not by choice really, but differently from what you and I would live on a daily. They are limited because of what they are able to do, what they are not able to do. And they have to find alternative ways of making life work for them that make sense in the same way that you and I would go about our daily business.
Yeah.
So raising awareness, really also giving that knowledge, allows for an opportunity for those living with disabilities to have access, right? To have a voice, to be acknowledged where they would otherwise be undermined or ignored, and just not have open doors as well. So we need to have the understanding so that we're able to successfully integrate them into our working societies. Yes.
Love that. All right, tell us about what Dagbreek is doing currently, you know, to raise awareness. Are there any projects that you guys are currently running in communities, maybe to raise awareness on disabilities with, you know, the parents perhaps, the children's friends perhaps? What is Dagbreek doing?
Well, in terms of raising awareness, we raise awareness about the school, that there is such a school available. But in terms of raising awareness for disabilities, our children are already the community of children living with learning disabilities and disorders. So what we do is our awareness is primarily focused on support. Because our school cannot run like the average mainstream school. We have special needs, and that those special needs need to be catered for in a manner that though state really tries, is not able to cater entirely, right? I'll use, for instance, the example of wheelchairs. It's a very basic example.
Yeah.
But you have children who are wheelchair bound, and we need to seek sponsorship for those wheelchairs. So we need to raise awareness for either monetary sponsorship or for the actual tangible material or tools to support these children. There is so much more. So when we're raising awareness, it's really for support to run the school so that we're able to cater to the needs of the school.
Ensure that children with disabilities lead positive and successful lives?
I'm so loving your questions. We are, and I love saying this, we are an asset-based school.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That we look at what the child is strong at, what most capable at. And that is what we invest in. We are not deficit-based, where mainstream is. They look at what is the child not able to do and how can we help improve. By default already of being a child with a disability, you already have that inability to do a number of things. So we seek out what the child's assets are, strong points are, and we nurture those. So if we then discover that child C is very good at singing, that's what we then groom the child into, okay? One that is fond of animals, I mean, we've got we've got a whole farm on the other side of the school. And then you groom them in that area. So we've got many different activities that once identifying the child's, I mean, from the initial stage, we expose them to so many things so that we're able to pick up where they're strong at. And as they go further into our phases, we call them phases, not grades, into our phases, we then start segregating them into the different areas that they have shown most keenness in.
Economic news follows after the break.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Getting into our economic news, Capricorn Private Wealth achieved a milestone at the 11th edition of the Global Brand Awards, securing the Best Private Banking Brand accolade in Namibia for 2023. The Global Brand Awards, hosted by Global Brands magazine, a renowned international publication headquartered in the UK, is an annual event that acknowledges global brands' exceptional performance across various sectors. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.7, against the euro at 20.25, and $2.64 gets you 1 Chinese yuan. Brent crude oil went up 0.08%, trading at $75.70 per barrel. All the other commodities went down. In international news, 2 migrants die after boatmen forced them to swim to Spain. We get into the story on the other side of the break.
we are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news. Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
as well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Two migrants died and one was left in a serious condition earlier today after the people piloting the boats they were in ordered them to swim to shore, the Spanish authorities said on Friday. Now, two boats with 137 male migrants, including at least 3 minors, were near Adra, Almeria, in the Mediterranean on Friday morning when the skippers forced them to swim to the coast so they could head back out to sea, the central government's regional office said. Spanish police received most of the migrants on dry land, but 2 drowned and 1 suffered hypothermia. The Coast Guard is continuing to search the area by helicopter to check for others who may have drowned. We'll now take a look at the weather predictions shortly. Let's get into our weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima Mulilo can expect a minimum of 16 degrees with a maximum of 32 degrees, while Oshakati can expect a minimum of 16 degrees and a maximum of 30 degrees. Handys Bay can expect a minimum of 11 degrees with a maximum of 18 degrees, while Marienthal can expect a minimum of 7 degrees with a maximum of 24 degrees. We'll get into the sports news shortly.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Well, good evening, viewers. Let's bring you the update from SportRap on Sunset News today. Well, golfer Todd Parker will be leaving on Tuesday for the MCB Indian Ocean Open in Mauritius. Well, Parker, who is the #1 junior golfer in Namibia, was awarded national colors for both the junior and senior men's golf in the same year, 2023. He also got a scholarship at the #1 junior college, that is Midlands College in Texas, USA, where he will be moving on the 16th of July. The Namibian national karate team has arrived safely in Harare, Zimbabwe for the AUSC Regional 5 Karate Championship. As you can see here, here's a photo, a snap, where we see the team after the training and preparations ahead of the African Union Sports Council AUC Region 5 Karate National Championships. Well, UNAM head coach Russell speaks to the media as they get ready for the game against FNB Kudus in the NRU Premier League. The team started off really well in the NRU Premier League by winning the first game, but it hasn't gone so well after that, after they've suffered defeats on numerous occasions. So the team will be looking to bounce back in this one. Well, that's it from Sports Rap here today. You guys should have a pleasant evening.
You're still watching Sunset News, and if you have just joined us, let's take a look at the highlights from today's broadcast. Former Air Namibia employees submitted a petition to the Ministry of Justice demanding full payment of severance claims agreed to under oath during their involuntary termination following the liquidation of the company. The group's representative, Rainer Bogart, expressed dissatisfaction with OC Bertram Bieckers, the Master of High Court's address, in which she urged patience and proper channels. The city of Windhoek celebrated World Environment Day with an exhibition of how plastic waste can be repurposed. According to Wilmot Reeves, UNDP economic advisor, we all have to work together to tackle this issue. Golfer Todd Parker will be leaving on Tuesday for the MCB Indian Ocean Open in Mauritius. Parker, who is the #1 junior golfer in Namibia, was awarded national colors for both the junior and senior men's golf in the same year, 2023. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.